Let me just get my tea here. Hi guys, welcome back to What Fuels a Dancer. My name is Leah. I am a professional ballet dancer and a certified nutrition health coach. I am passionate about teaching dancers and students about nutrition and how to fuel their bodies in the best possible way. Last video, we talked about if dancers need to be on a diet in order to be successful. I will put a link up to the video somewhere up here, so make sure to go ahead and check that out after you watch this video. As a follow-up to that video, today we are going to talk about how intuitive eating can help dancers find balance in nutrition. So if this is something that you would like to learn more about, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and keep watching. And just as a disclaimer, every body is different with different nutritional needs and preferences when it comes to food. So make sure you talk with your nutrition professional like a dietitian, nutritionist, or health coach about your unique case. I think it would be helpful to give a quick background of my experience with fueling myself in dance. I have been blessed with a lot of factors that genetically have helped me to look like the stereotypical ballet dancer body. But as I grew older, I really struggled with my body changing. And from that, I developed a poor relationship with food and with my body. A lot of my focus went to eating as clean and perfectly as possible. I realized that the food rules that I had created caused anxiety for me around food decisions. I was also unknowingly not eating enough. So I always felt tired and like I didn't have enough power in my dancing. Once I started dancing professionally, I started to realize how much mental space was taken up by worrying about food. As I started to relax my eating behaviors, I realized that I was always hungry because I had been restricting for so long. I saw changes in my body as I became an adult, and I started learning how to embrace them. I noticed that I had more energy in my dancing, and I enjoyed dancing so much more because honestly, I was just having so much fun. It took a long time to heal my relationship with food and with my body. And honestly, sometimes those old doubts creep back in. But now I have the tools to deal with them head on. Looking back, I can see that I was gravitating towards eating intuitively, and that I was honoring the cravings and needs of my body. Intuitive eating might not be for every dancer, but it can be a starting place in figuring out nutrition for your body that helps you enjoy food out of abundance and not out of deprivation or control. So, what is intuitive eating? Intuitive eating is a non-diet approach to food. It helps you reconnect to your body's hunger and fullness cues, as well as the cravings that you have. It allows you to honor those cravings and cues that you have without judgment. Intuitive eating helps us to develop a mind-body connection around food, and this will be unique to you, because what food you need in order to fulfill your body's cravings and cues will be different from everyone else. Intuitive eating also means giving yourself full permission to eat all foods. It also means that you can eat whenever your body is sending you hunger cues, and it allows us to approach food and eating behaviors neutrally. In essence, there are no rules. This way of eating involves trial and error because it really depends on you intuitively listening to your body. And it will take time to get used to, especially if you are coming from a background with a more rigid and controlling way of eating. When a hunger cue or craving arises, we can decide how to best fuel our bodies based on what we know about our bodies, what foods we like to eat, and how we know our body responds to certain foods. For example, in the morning, I am usually someone that likes having something hydrating like a smoothie. But I also usually want something with substance as well. I love smoothies because I can pack them full of protein and fat and make them super yummy. And I also put some secret veggies in there. And to have with my smoothie, a lot of times I will toast up some local bread and put some creamy almond butter on top. This breakfast not only hits all 3 macronutrients, it keeps me filled up and fueled all morning long. It provides me with tons of energy, and it's just something that I really enjoy having in the mornings. We can also get hunger cues and cravings from feelings. like when we are bored, tired, stressed, anxious, or even when we're just around people in celebration. Pause. Okay, we're back. In these moments, I take a second to see if the food I am about to eat is going to satisfy that craving or feeling. Like when I'm really tired or stressed, my body often craves something sugary for energy. And it's totally okay for me to eat in this moment, but I have to acknowledge that a sugary snack isn't going to fix the underlying problem that only sleep, rest, or self-care can solve. So how can intuitive eating be helpful for dancers? When our bodies receive the energy and nutrition from food to fuel our bodies in dance, we might see more power in our dancing, increased endurance, decreased fatigue, and faster recovery times. It also helps us prevent injuries by keeping our muscles strong, repairing tissue damage, and helping with inflammation levels. When we are giving our body enough calories, our bodies are not only able to keep up with our intense dance schedule, it can also focus on the processes that keep our body healthy. Intuitive eating can also shift our mindset and mood. If you eat intuitively, you might notice that you think about food less and that you have more energy. With more energy, we can have more focus, determination, and drive inside of the studio. And this allows us to build on our technique and artistry. And for me, intuitive eating brought a greater sense of gratitude towards my body and the things that it's able to do. Like, our bodies aren't supposed to be able to do the things that we do in dance naturally. So what are some ways that we can start eating intuitively? So the first one is to leave diet culture behind. This means food tracking, calorie counting, restricting foods, giving up fad diets, etc. This will take a lot of time to be able to shift away from this mindset, but it will give you a chance to truly listen to your body and its needs. The second guideline is to explore thoughts and feelings surrounding food and your body without judgment. See if you have any food rules, like labeling certain foods as good or bad, or if you have any restrictions established based on what, when, or how you eat. Not only will this let you know how you've been approaching making food decisions, you can be aware of when they pop up so you can work to leave these food rules behind. And then number 3, pay attention to your hunger and fullness levels and any cravings that you have. This one is super important. When you listen to your hunger cues and honor them, you start to develop a relationship of trust with your body because it lets your body know that you are honoring its needs. And everyone's hunger cues are going to be different. You might experience your stomach rumbling, or you might be tired. You might have a loss of concentration or low energy levels. You might feel dizzy or experience hunger pains, or even the dreaded hangry emotions. While eating, think about if your food is satisfying what your body needs. And check in with yourself if you're still hungry, comfortable, or if you're overly stuffed. And number 4, ask yourself questions when making food decisions. So these are questions like, how would I feel if I ate a certain food? What foods sit comfortably in my stomach? What foods do I need to keep me energized? How will this food and food quantity make my body feel afterwards? And if I'm trying to fulfill an emotional craving with food. And remember, your answer to these questions are just going to be neutral data that you're collecting. There is no guilt, judgment, or shame that needs to happen from your answers to these questions. It's simply helping us to make food decisions that will best fuel our bodies. And number 5, turn off distractions while eating. Having multiple devices on, schoolwork on the table, your favorite Netflix show on the television, or even our favorite book in our hands can sometimes take away our ability to listen to our body. And it can distract us from listening to our hunger and fullness cues. Now, I will say, personally, this is definitely one that I am not good at. And it's definitely not something that you have to do all the time. It's simply a tool that you can use to recognize how your body is feeling throughout your meal, especially if you struggle with noticing your hunger and fullness levels. Number 6 is honoring your feelings without using food. Sometimes we get used to using food as a coping mechanism for uncomfortable emotions. And while it's totally okay to eat in these moments, even if you aren't hungry, we also need to recognize that food isn't the thing that is going to solve the issue. This topic could honestly have a whole video dedicated to it. So let me know if this is something that you guys want me to talk about. And number 7, and the final guideline, is allow guilt to move on. If we're coming from a restrictive style of eating, it's likely that we have experienced guilt surrounding food choices and surrounding our body. And it's really difficult to shift away from this mindset. Our bodies are incredible. They naturally regulate themselves and they let us know what they need. Our bodies are incredibly resilient and they can withstand quite a bit. And getting caught up in making what we think are perfect food choices leads us away from paying attention to how our bodies are actually functioning. Intuitive eating seems pretty simple, but it will take a lot of time, reflection, and support. It will never be perfect, and that's okay. I found it super helpful for me to have someone that I could talk to when I was changing my approach to how I viewed food and my body. So this could be a friend, a loved one, or a nutritional professional. In the next 3 videos, we will be talking about the 3 different macronutrients. And we are going to talk about why they are important for our bodies and how they can fuel our bodies in dance. I think it's really important for us to talk about some nutritional basics that you then can apply to your own body in intuitive eating. If you have any further questions about intuitive eating, make sure to leave a comment down below. I will also link a blog post that I wrote down below about intuitive eating for dancers. Be sure to also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at What Fuels a Dancer. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a video. I upload new videos every Wednesday, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys! The sun just came out. Oh my gosh, is it snowing outside? Oh, you're kidding. Oh my gosh, okay.